What does it mean when a guy says he misses you? It's time to help a lover out. Kindly give this video a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Out of all of the 3-word phrases that you can say to someone, I miss you, is probably one of the 2 or 3 most important. It's probably not the most important, but it's close. The problem is that much like, I love you, its true meaning is up for interpretation. Depending on the context, tone, and a bunch of other factors, a guy can mean a lot of things. Here are a few possibilities. 1. You said it first and I don't want this to be awkward. If you said, I miss you, first, he's probably going to say it back. It'd be super awkward if he didn't, right? I mean, a guy would be all kinds of stupid if you said it and he didn't say it back or something similar. The problem is that he may not mean it. If he says it back real fast, almost like a reflex, it's less likely that he means it. However, if he pauses and absorbs the fact that you said it before saying it back, that's usually a good sign. Of course, you could just wait to see if he'll say it first. 2. I want to see you. This one seems kind of obvious, right? If a guy misses you, then of course he wants to see you. That doesn't necessarily mean he's pining for you and would cut off his arm to see you right now. Depending on the nature of the relationship, maybe he just wants to hang out or hook up. Admittedly, the words, I miss you, are almost always a nice sentiment. Just don't jump to conclusions about them being deep and meaningful. 3. I'm jealous. Jealousy can manifest in a lot of ways. Sadly, saying, I miss you, can be one of them. If you spend a night with the girls or go out of town without your boyfriend, he might tell you that he misses you. However, be careful because he could just be secretly jealous or resentful that you went somewhere without him. In these situations, it can be more of a complaint than anything. He's upset and his ego is bruised and he thinks saying, I miss you, will make you feel guilty for leaving him behind. 4. I miss sleeping with you. Yes, it's a tad cynical, but, I miss you, can be a form of a late-night booty call. In his defense, if he has certain needs and you're not around, there's no doubt that he misses you. It's just that he misses the specific part of you that sleeps with him. Thus, he'll say, I miss you, to put the image of the 2 of you cuddling late at night in your mind. I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world, but a late night, I miss you, text or call can get you thinking about it, potentially setting up a booty call or some sexting. 5. I'm not ready to say, I love you. Under the right circumstances, saying, I miss you, can be a gateway to saying, I love you. It's probably the next best thing, right? If a guy hasn't been in love before or is worried about rushing things, saying, I love you, can be a big step to take. Not all guys are bold enough to go through with it. However, with the right tone, I miss you, can send the same message. A lot depends on the guy and the setting. But under the right circumstances, I miss you, translates to, I love you but I'm not actually ready to say it yet. 6. I miss the idea of you. Is it an ex-boyfriend saying, I miss you? Well, then this one applies to you specifically. Of course, you should miss someone if you had a long relationship that ended, but that doesn't mean you need to tell the other person. This can be a common tactic used to get back together with an ex. But saying that to an ex is clearly a loaded statement. Odds are, a guy just misses the idea of you or he misses being in a relationship. It might not mean that he genuinely misses you. It's also not a good enough reason to get back together with your ex. 7. I'm trying to manipulate you. Again, sorry for the cynicism, but, I miss you, can be a powerful phrase. Crafty and manipulative guys with bad intentions know this and use it to take advantage of women. They know that saying it can play with your feelings. It's usually a way of buttering you up to get something that they want before breaking things off. If you sense that a guy is a little sketchy, don't believe him when he tells you he misses you. 8. I genuinely miss you. Thankfully, yes, there are occasions when saying, I miss you, means that a guy genuinely misses you. Guys do occasionally mean exactly what they say. However, if a guy actually misses you, he'll tell you specifically what he misses about you. In fact, if you want to check, rather than saying, I miss you too, ask a guy what he misses about you. If he doesn't have a good answer, he may not mean it. Granted, not all guys are always super articulate. However, a guy being able to tell you specifically what he misses about you is one of the few signs to know he means it. This is a tough one. When a man says he misses you, it might send your heart a fluttering. That's a good thing, but only if he's saying it for the right reasons. Sometimes, the lonely factor kicks in and a man might tell you he is thinking about you just because he wants some company. When he tells you he misses you, he might be trying to get in your pants, or he might be sincere. I can't stop thinking about you. Of course, we've all heard this at one time or another. Too bad you've got to keep your guard up because lots of men will say they miss you and not actually mean it. What does it mean when a guy says he misses you? First, here are a few tried, tested, and true reasons he might be telling you he misses you and really mean it. Clue 1, he doesn't go over the top when a gentleman tells you that he misses you. He might be telling the truth, but it might not be reading like that. If this guy really misses you, he's not going repeat it a zillion times. It's emotional when you let someone know you miss them. And when it's real, the sincerity will come through. Follow your gut. Clue 2, non-stop contact. This one is difficult because everyone wants to be wanted. However, when a guy keeps reaching out to you and just won't stop, even when there's no reason to do so, you've got to ask yourself if it's necessary. If he really misses you, he will want to keep the connection going. To do this, he might keep asking you questions. Clue 3, face-to-face online. When a man is missing a woman, he just might try FaceTiming or Skyping her. It's easy for him to send you a voicemail or text, but when he takes it one step further and gets you virtually face-to-face, you can be sure he really is missing you. Clue 4, social media stalker. I mean this one in a good way. When a guy is liking your photos and maybe even commenting on your social media accounts, he most certainly misses you. There's no doubt, when you are missing someone, you are curious about what they are up to, and social media is the way to figure it out. Clue 5, he says he wants to see you. When a guy is missing a girl, of course, he's going to talk about wanting to see her. Make sure you don't jump to conclusions because some men say one thing and do another. Just be wary of this, please. Bottom line. When a man makes an effort to see you, there's a chance he is being completely sincere. Clue 6, this guy actually makes plans to see you. It's sweet enough that he says he misses you, but when he actually makes plans to surprise you with something just to see you, it's magical. That's rock solid proof he is missing you. This is one of the most concrete signs he is missing you. One time, I had a guy fly out to see me as a surprise. That was a clear-cut sign he missed me and wanted me back. Clue 7, all of a sudden, he's Mr. Homebody. Normally, when you are sad, you don't want to go out and socialize with anybody. You likely just want to stay home and eat ice cream and watch movies, something along those lines anyway. If you notice he hasn't gone out in a while and is not hanging out with his friends as often, there's a good chance he really is missing you. Clue 8, the beer goggle call. There's no doubt you've likely got that drunken call from a guy telling you he misses you. Sure, he might just be looking for sex, but often, his true feelings are coming out when he's half in the bag. If he tells you he misses you and loves you, chances are pretty good he is telling the truth. Did you know that a drunk guy's words are simply a sober guy's thoughts? Clue 9, Mr. Jealous. Let's just say you went out one weekend and got a few shots with some super hot guys and you posted them on Facebook. Innocent, of course, but that's not what he's thinking. He's going to like your photo, but his brain is saying you look flipping hot, and he is all hot and bothered that you are not on his arm. He just doesn't want you to flirt with other guys at all. This tells you he clearly misses you and wants you and only you. Clue 10, this guy asks you for photos. I'm not talking about the dirty naked kind. When a guy wants to see you au natural, whether you are in your PJs or wrapped in a blanket on the couch, it's a solid signal he misses you. This is his way of remembering how much he misses the mornings he got to wake up with you in his arms. Think about it for a minute or two and don't forget to follow your gut. Clue 11, his anger suddenly gets out of control. This one is a little tough to pinpoint. However, when you are hanging out with a guy, and suddenly, he gets mad without any reasonable explanation, it's a sign he is mixed up in his feelings and really misses you. Anger is often a signal that he really does miss you. Just something to think about. Clue 12, heading down memory lane. This is another signal he's definitely missing you. Perhaps he's been posting special signs on his social media pages that the two of you shared. When a man is going down memory lane, you can rest assured he is missing your arms. Clue 13, he's crazy excited when he sees you. If a man is in a romantic relationship, it's completely natural for him to get overjoyed when he gets to see the girl he is head over heels for. There's no hiding emotion. When a man misses you, it's because he really does. So, when he gets excited to see you, it's important you take this in stride and consider the fact he really does miss you. Why would a guy pretend to miss you? That's not going to happen unless he is a total loser, which usually isn't the case. Bottom line. When a man says he is crazy excited to see you, it's likely true. Clue 14, interrogation galore. The guy that's really missing you will be super concerned about what you're up to, whether he's straight up about it or nonchalant. If this man didn't care, he wouldn't ask. He just wants to know what you are up to, and this is an opportunity for him to slip back into your life. Now it's time to face the fact that, sometimes, a man doesn't miss you, and he definitely doesn't love you. Here are a few clear-cut signals you need to walk away fast. Signal 1, missing the small things. When a man isn't missing you, he won't care about the details in your life. If he doesn't want to hear about your crazy boss at work or how you felt totally embarrassed at your meeting, then you need to walk away. Signal 2, the connection is lost. When a guy doesn't want to be with you, he will make sure he's not connecting with you on any level. This means he really doesn't want to make the effort to make things better with you. He just does his own thing and makes sure you know he's okay with that. Signal 3, picking fights over stupid stuff. If he's picking fights over silly things and doesn't give you rhyme or reason, he certainly isn't missing you and most definitely doesn't love you. This is totally destructive and takes a toll on your relationship. Signal 4, buying just for him. When a guy starts buying things for himself that he knows you won't like, it's a fairly clear indicator he really doesn't care what you think. Of course, this also means he most definitely doesn't miss you. Signal 5, forced transformation. You should love and accept yourself as you are, and this applies to your partner. When a man tries to change you into something he wants, this shouts he doesn't love you or miss you. Signal 6, focused only forward. When a guy is only talking about life down the road, not about what's happening now, it's a solid sign he's not missing you. If he was, he would be talking with you about the immediate future because you matter to him. Signal 7, random contact. When a man wants a woman, he will make sure he puts effort into contacting her. Often, this occurs routinely. So, if he's texting you all the time, and he suddenly stops, chances are pretty good he isn't thinking about you at all. You deserve to be appreciated, loved, and missed. Signal 8, you've never met his parents. Of course, there are exceptions to the rules, but if a man makes a point of never introducing you to his parents, he doesn't love or miss you. This one is a straightforward no-brainer. Your man should want to show you off to his parents if you are important to him. Don't shrug this one off, particularly if you've been with him for more than a few months. Make sure he isn't playing you. Signal 9, not sure about love. Some men are just afraid of the L word. However, at some point, he's got to figure out whether or not he loves you, and he needs to tell you. When a man loves a woman, he's going to make sure he tells her. If he's missing you, he loves you. You've got to ask the tough questions if you are going to figure out what you want, need, and deserve. Signal 10, no forward goals together. Most people who wind up together have at least a few things in common. That just makes sense. However, if you don't have any plans or goals together and you aren't talking about them, this guy needs to go because he's just not into you. Signal 11, no middle ground. Successful couples that last understand compromise is an important part of keeping the flame alive. If you have a guy who makes it his way or the highway, then you aren't with the man you deserve. Time for you to say goodbye. Signal 12, still fishing. Any guy who makes it clear he wants to play the field a little longer to make sure there's nothing better out there is a total creep. He's not missing you, nor does he love you. If he missed you, he wouldn't be looking for a new model or another woman to warm his bed. This type of guy is likely a player. At least, he's straight up about it. Signal 13, no trust. When a guy shows you or tells you he just doesn't trust you, please take that as a clear sign he's just not into you. At this point, it doesn't matter if you are wondering whether he misses you because he's clearly not the man for you on any level. When he accuses you of things and tells you he doesn't trust you, he's taking the focus off his lack of love for you. Maybe he's feeling guilty that he doesn't miss you. Beware, because this is one of the oldest tricks in the book. If a guy doesn't trust a woman, he shouldn't be with her. All healthy relationships are built on the foundation of trust. That doesn't mean it's always going to be perfect, but some level of trust needs to be established. Signal 14, he's deaf in the listening department. When a man doesn't ask about your day and doesn't seem to care about the things in your life that you want to talk about, you can rest assured he doesn't miss you and certainly doesn't love you the way you deserve to be loved. This move is just nasty. When you love someone, you should want to know as much as you can about them. What matters to you should matter to him. End of story on that one. Signal 15, talk triggers. Fighting any relationship that's going to work must have regular discussions about the issues that arise when two people become intimately connected. I don't care how perfect you think your relationship is, at some point, you need to sit down and talk, so you can resolve issues before they boil over. This is just a decoy for a man to try to leave you with all the guilt and blame, and it's something you can't let him get away with. Relationships are hard work, and if he's not willing to open up and put in the effort, then he's not worth it. Get rid of him because he's interfering with you finding your own happiness. Signal 16, zero interconnection. This is another sneaky way a guy tries to hang onto a girl for all the wrong reasons. If a guy puts little to no effort into making sure your lives intertwine, it's a clear indicator you aren't the one for him. Some men stay with women just for comfort, and that's not what you deserve. If this is the scenario for you, then you need to give your head a shake. Couples that last are always growing together. Signal 17, continuously forgetting the little things. When a man just doesn't seem to bother with the little things, you can be sure he really doesn't miss you. A man who loves you will make certain you get wowed on your special days, and he's never ever going to forget them. This doesn't mean he's got to be perfect, but you need to remember that excuses get you nowhere fast. If he wants to be with you, he will show you. That's a fact. Signal 18, hurting you comes easy. When a man has no issues making you feel like an arse in public without a second thought, he's labeled himself a selfish creep. Any guy who loves you should never purposely try to hurt your feelings. Yes, there will be times when he slips up, and that's okay. However, if this is the rule and not the exception, then you've taken a wrong turn, and he needs to go. You deserve to be respected and understood. Signal 19, fair fighting. There will be conflict with any relationship, but there are rules to govern that. Couples need to learn how to fight fair in order to feel like they are being heard and to find agreeable solutions to issues. If your man is the guy who likes to fight dirty, then he's showing you he doesn't miss you, love you, or care about you at all. Signal 20, super critical. When a man tells you that you need to lose weight or dress better, he's a jerk. These are well-known issues that most women are quite sensitive to. So, if a guy tries to put you down about your weight or clothing, you need to accept the fact he's just not for you. Make sure you are proud of who you are, body, mind, and soul. Any man that deserves you should be supporting you and lifting you up, not knocking you down and running you over a few more times. Signal 21, ego in the bedroom. If your guy looks to pleasure only himself in the bedroom, then he's not the guy for you. Sex is a two-way street, and you should want to please each other. If your man looks to take care of his needs and then falls asleep, you know what you have to do. Signal 22, his boys come first. Yes, there will be times when a guy wants to go out with his boys and not you, and that's perfectly fine. However, if he is always choosing to make plans with everyone but you need to take a good look in the mirror and ask yourself if that's what you really want. Any guy that does this most certainly doesn't miss you. How does your guy show that he misses you? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so I can continue making videos like this for you.